Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel for Catch. My name is Sam and I am the founder and lead coach here at Catch. Unshakable confidence is the key to getting everything that you want in life and dating. So on this channel, we teach you how to build that unshakable confidence and become the most unstoppable version of you. If you're interested in working with us in any way, all of that information is in the description box below, including coaching, digital workbooks, and some of our other social media channels and our websites. And we're also running a free to enter competition at the moment to win prizes worth hundreds of pounds. And all you have to do to enter that is like and comment one of our videos and share something that's helped you build your confidence so that we can start to build a movement around confidence and help one another on this channel and in this community. It's been a little while since we filmed and posted a video. It's been really busy our side. We've mentioned in other videos that we also work with corporate businesses on similar topics, and since the new year that's been absolutely crazy, plus keeping on top of coaching. So we're still going to make content as much as possible, but it might be a little less than pre-Christmas and at the end of 2024. But if you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to send us an email or book coaching with us or leave us a comment and we'll do our best to answer that in a video or get back to you. So today's topic is a topic that came in from one of our subscribers called Andreas. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Thank you so much for sending this in. And the question is, how can I tell if someone is attracted to me? So we're going to look at this from a few different angles. And before we get into some of the things to look for, a couple of important mindsets when you're interacting with someone that you're interested in or attracted to, and you're trying to figure out, do they feel the same? Well, firstly, this channel is all about, and this business is all about confidence. And so we always encourage people to assume the other person is interested, and not in a pushy way or a forceful way where you won't take no for an answer. In fact, the opposite, that you're so relaxed and confident in who you are and your worth and what you bring to the table that you don't need to force anything. You don't need to push, you don't need to force yourself. And even if they do say no initially, you know that you're so attractive that the fact you're unbothered about that will mean that they'll go away and reflect on it and come back to you at a later date and admit that they are interested. And so when we give you this advice, it's looking at something in the moment, but also appreciating that it may change as you get to know the person, as you have more interaction with them. And by being relaxed and confident is the way that you're going to get the best response. So that's the first mindset, is confidence. And the second one is context is important. So we're going to give you some body language things to look for, some language to look for, or ways of that someone might be engaging with you that would indicate whether they're interested or not. But you have to take into account the context that you're in. And we did another video on how to approach someone with confidence, but also being respectful. And one of the things we talked about in that video is being mindful that if you are a physically bigger person, especially, a man approaching a woman, that person may be being polite or be a bit nervous as someone who, interacting with someone that they don't know, and they're trying to figure out whether you're a safe person. So we've got to bear that in mind. Or, for example, we'll talk about some body language indicators, but if it's cold outside or someone's in a rush, then you may not see the same body language than you would if someone's relaxed in a bar or in a restaurant, or you're introduced through friends and they're able to spend more time talking to you. So try and stay calm, stay breathing. That sounds simple, but just stay having a steady breath when you are interacting with someone, because I know it can bring up excitement, it can bring up nerves. And access your intuition. Stay in touch with how you're feeling and try and read their energy, because that's more important than any of these indicators. However, if you do see these indicators, they're a positive sign, and the more you see, if you see a combination of these, then you can be pretty sure that someone is attracted to you and interested. So the first thing, and probably the most obvious and well known, is are they making eye contact with you, and are they smiling, laughing and enjoying your company? Eye contact is a very vulnerable thing when you think about it. The eyes are the key to the soul, as some people say. So for someone to make eye contact with you and consistently, so not just glancing, but continuously, means that they're feeling comfortable with you, they're interested in what you're saying or in you, and they're listening most of the time. So if you're having a conversation with someone who you've just met and you're interested in, and they're making continuous eye contact with you or most of the time, then that's a good sign. And of course, if they're smiling or laughing, then that indicates that they're having a good time with you, they're enjoying the conversation, and they're able to relax and enjoy it. And this is where, again, context is a bit important. We've spoken to people who are neurodivergent or have ADHD. They struggle with eye contact, and they may look around the room a bit more than someone who's neurotypical. So they may not make as much eye contact as someone without ADHD. Or if you've just met someone and you're speaking as friends, then the eye contact, the smiling and the laughing may be polite. And that's why it's good to think about a combination of these indicators. But if someone's making lots of eye contact and they're smiling and having a good time with you, then that's a very good sign. The second indicator is, are they facing you physically? So we tend to look towards and angle our body towards the thing that we are interested in. And I remember when working full-time in a corporate job, or before setting up businesses, we would talk about networking and how to go to a networking event and approach different groups. And a couple of the things we were told to look for are, if there's a group of people, is there a gap in the group? Literally a space between the people, because that's showing that that group is open to someone joining. So that's quite a useful thing to look for, open body language in a group. But then once you're in a group and you're speaking to someone who's more interested or hooked into what you're saying will typically be facing you, and their feet will be facing you. Now, again, we have to think about context, because if someone sat on a bar stool, for example, and they've got their one leg crossed over the other and they're already facing a certain way, or there's limited space, they may not be able to do this. But typically if someone is facing you and their body language is open, as in their arms are by their sides, or an inviting type of body language like I'm doing now, then that shows interest in what you're saying, and they're almost inviting you in terms of their body language. So those are very positive things to look for. However, if it's cold, someone may, have their arms crossed, be like this. That's not necessarily because of you. That's where context, again, is important. So bear that in mind. And similarly, if you are having a conversation with someone and they are mirroring your body language, then that is also a very positive sign. And this is also helpful on things like video calls. So I've had that before, even when I'm working again with a new business partner or a new client, I might test this. So go like this or like that, and see if somebody does the same thing. Because if someone is mirroring your body language, that is them subconsciously, and they're not even conscious that they're doing this, showing that they like you and they resonate with you. And it's also a way to build trust with someone else. So if you've met someone new and you're trying to show that you're interested, mirroring their body language, if it feels natural, can be a way to show subconsciously between people, because we read body language without even consciously knowing it, which is where your intuition comes in. If you mirror their body language, it will send a positive sign to them that you are listening and interested and are building a rapport with that person. So in terms of body language, for open body language, them facing towards you with that open posture, their feet facing you. In groups, look for open body language as well if you're looking to make an approach or go over to a group in a setting. And then once you're speaking, look for mirroring of body language. That's very positive. Now, once you're in the conversation with somebody, there are other telltale signs. So the body language is good, the conversation is flowing. How do you know once you're in the conversation if they're attracted? Well, curiosity and asking questions is a big one. Are they interested in you and learning about you or the topics that you're speaking about? Because that is showing interest, wanting to learn more about the other person. However, on the flip side, some people, particularly extroverts, and we see this more in men, don't always default to questions when they're interested. Sometimes they try and impress the other person. So maybe you're interacting with someone and their body language is very open, they seem interested in you, maybe they're getting more physically close to you, they're holding good eye contact, but they're not asking you questions. So you might think, are they interested in me or not? But the thing is, some people, when they meet someone new, they're trying to impress them. So rather than ask questions, they talk about stories in their own life, they share anecdotes, they try and make you laugh. So you could also be looking for, is this person talking about things with me that they're passionate about, and are they trying to impress me? So I'm very into the gym, and if I meet someone else who I can tell is active, I'll very quickly dive into that topic. And if I meet someone who lifts weights, which is what I enjoy to do bodybuilding, sometimes if I'm interested, I'll notice myself, and this is a bit embarrassing, but I'll notice myself sort of talking about the types of things that I'm able to do in the gym, because I'm quite strong for a woman. So I'll notice myself doing that, right? And that is a telltale sign to me that, I'm trying to impress this person in whatever regard that might be. Maybe that's work, maybe it's because I'm interested, or maybe it's I'm trying to keep the conversation going. So you can notice it in yourself, but also in the other person. Are they sharing things with you, things they're passionate about, or impressive things about themselves, and trying to engage you in that, because that's usually someone trying to win you over. Another thing that you can look for in conversations is someone being playful. So this is cultural dependent. I'm based in the UK countries, and that includes Scotland, Wales, Ireland, and other Western countries. A lot of our love language is taking the piss. So we will mock someone that we're interested in or feel comfortable with, but in a nice way, with a smile. It's something kind. It's not too hard hitting, but it might just be taking the piss out of a little story, or say they stumble over the chair, we might mock that. So if someone is playfully taking the mick out of you, then they're probably interested in you. If they're being cruel, that isn't a good sign. But also if they're just having polite small talk, that is often an indicator. They may be nervous and they may just be being polite, but if someone feels comfortable enough to mock you and that other person finds it funny, that shows a level of trust and intimacy, more so than having polite small talk. So again, it's not a deal breaker, but a positive indicator that that person is interested in the conversation and your dynamic is moving in the right direction. Okay, and finally, if you're speaking to somebody and you feel like you're getting closer and you want to know whether it's a good time to ask for their number or perhaps lean in for a kiss at the end of the date, what you can look for at this point is someone playing with their hair or touching around their face. That is an indicator that they're interested in progressing things further. And also if someone wants to initiate something with you, often we'll look between the eyes, each eye and the lips. So it's called the triangle. If someone is glancing between your eyes and your lips, then that usually means that they're interested in kissing you or progressing things further. So assuming that you've had the open body language, you've progressed, the conversation's going well, you're building a good rapport and intimacy, and then you see some of those signs where they're playing with their hair or touching their face a lot, getting physically closer to you, and then doing the triangle, then that's probably a good time to go in for the kiss or ask for the second date, because you've built that connection and you've built some momentum around it. So I hope that those indicators were helpful. What have you seen, or what have you learned since you've been dating and interacting with people, or maybe even in a work context, building relationships? What have you learned that shows that someone is interested or attracted to you? Comment that down below. If you have any other questions following up from this, or there's any topics you would like us to cover, let us know. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.